the easy thing is, Potter's not up to it. He's not up to it. And that's, let's just write it off because we're not winning enough. Okay, fair enough. And like I said, I wasn't perfect. So they're not 100% wrong with that, because clearly no one's perfect. And if you're not winning football matches, there's always something you can do better. But nevertheless, it was, you have to deal with that, try and hold it together. I think you're right. It's everyone's looking at you. A lot more experienced managers than me will say it can be a lonely job at times. And, that's why we do it. There's an intellectual challenge, an emotional challenge that is something that you have to face up to and do. And then you've got the media, which is, are you tough enough? It's like, well, I don't know how about you, but if you go 12 years as a football manager, you go from the 4th tier in Swedish football to the last 8 in Champions League, and you think that comes for nothing, and that just happens. That journey, I don't think there's too many coaches in the world that have done that type of journey. So that doesn't happen because haven't got these whatever it is they're looking for, resilience or toughness or ruthlessness or whatever else. You have to make those decisions, otherwise you're not going to gain that way. But when you're going through all this stuff, my decision was I want to remain calm. I want to be consistent. I want to be me. That's who I am. There's always going to be a chance that people write you off. That's just normal. Like, I'm pretty sure they wrote Eddie off after he left Bournemouth, and they wrote Unai Emery off after he left Arsenal or whatever. I don't think you can worry about. I can't worry about that. People. I think my ex-chairman said, and he was being a bit obtuse, but he said, "There's no point arguing with stupid people because they're stupid. There's no point arguing with them."
Yeah.
Now, if you, like I said, if you think that we've lost games, so I'm the problem. No, I accept it. Fair enough. Ultimately, if we don't win, you fail.
Yeah.
But I think you've got to work hard to go. But can you focus on the things that you can control? Can you focus on your behaviours, on how you act? Because we're playing a game that you can't control. As much as coaches think that they can, the beauty of the game is you can't. That's why we play it, and that's why we love it. So, but nevertheless, you have to work on your own mindset or your own brain to go, am I doing the things that I can control as well as I can? And, and then when I reflect back, I go, okay, was I exercising enough? Was I sleeping well enough? Was I eating well enough? Was I doing all the things that I can do myself to protect me from the noise that's coming at you all the time? The media, it's a game. It's a game off the pitch and it's a game on the pitch. Every time there's probably 2 clubs outside the top 6 that are failing because they're not in the top 6. And you have to deal with that as a head coach. Okay, I need to think about this. I need to understand that this is challenging at the moment, and maybe my confidence isn't as high as it can be, and you have to sort of regulate yourself. But that's been the case all my life. The inner voice, the imposter syndrome, all of these concepts that people talk about, they're all there in all of us, I think. But at different stages, they'll hit you more, and then that's where you've got to do your work.
Don't we need to also create an environment where we allow high-performing people to be as high performance as possible, right? And I think one of the big things is the media narrative, which then informs fan behaviour.
Like I said, there's emotion, there's passion around the game. So, and when people aren't getting the results they want, they feel hurt, they feel anger. We see it all the time. We can have these nice conversations in here, but the reality on the coalface on a Saturday afternoon, if you're 3-0 down at home, is you get an abuse, and that's how it is. And then you might get abuse online, and you might get abuse in other ways through the street. And I'm not complaining about it. I'm not sitting here, pity me, but that's just the reality of it. And you have to accept it to a certain extent, deal with it. I think when it affects your family, it becomes a bit more challenging because you're like, well, they didn't really ask to be this, but it is part of. Like I said, I'm not complaining about it. It's just,
but it does have an impact on how well you can do your job, right? Because you suddenly are second guessing stuff, doubting your decisions.
Not really, because I think everyone has the same challenges. What you hope for is that you're in a good club with good leadership, and that's all you ask for as a coach. Yeah. How do you communicate those challenges? How do you keep the thing moving? How do you build trust with people? Because fans expecting this, fans expecting that. And then if it doesn't go well, you just know that that's how it is. And then you have to just, okay, what am I listening to here? Because you can get criticism everywhere, but you have to be really selective of who you listen to and who you block out and who you just don't care. Because some will have criticism and it'll be fair. and some will be educated, and some will be useful, and some of it will be uneducated, not balanced, and totally useless. And after the event, everyone's a genius. Should have done this. Should have done that. Should have done this. Should have done that. Yeah, and because you know that the worst thing you can be, and I think is.
Let's be honest. Parenthood gives you the highest highs and the lowest lows. It can drain you, it can challenge you, it can push you to your limits, your time, your energy, your focus. It's all gone. And how often do you feel like you're just running on empty? And then it's so hard to show up and be that parent that you really want to be. And high performance, by the way, isn't just about big wins. It isn't about victories. It's about showing up consistently for the people and the things that matter the most. And that is why I take Vitals from Heights. This is just 2 capsules. You take them once a day, and it's got omega-3, all the B vitamins, iron, D3, 20 essential nutrients. And what's really important, actually, for me personally, is that I know this is designed by doctors and dietitians. I know it's been tested again and again and again. It takes me seconds to take these capsules, but it gives me that stamina, that focus, that better sleep, that mental clarity that just lasts and lasts. All of the things that I think help me to be the dad that I want to be, and not the dad that's so tired he can't play with his kids. And if you don't trust me, maybe you'll trust the science. Maybe you'll trust the 120,000 people that take Vitals, and they take it for a good reason. So if you want to feel sharper, more focused, more in control throughout your day, just go to heights.com/HP and use the code HP20 for 20% off, or easily just click the link in the description.
The worst thing you can be, and I think, is to think that you know everything. You know, there's always, but then the flip side to that is there's always a bit of doubt, and there's always, you could have done something else. You could have done something else. So again, it's been able to manage all that in your own brain, and I think that's why my focus has been a lot on self-care and, you know, making sure that I'm the best version of myself. Because in the end, that's all you've got. Really, you've got to really that how you think and how you can deal with the situation internally is probably your biggest advantage, is your biggest asset.
Yeah.
I'm not sitting here thinking I'm perfect and there's perfect code, whatever else. I'm really proud of the journey I've had. Ultimately, football, probably there's 3 categories of coaches. There's the winner, there's the proven winner, which, you know, my 3 promotions and my Swedish Cup isn't going to put me in that category of winner. Or there's the one that hasn't failed yet, the shiny new one that the club wants, that the club, you know, I want to be the next, I'll hire the next Pep, you're the sporting director, you want to hire the next, you know, big coach. And then you've got these coaches that have, you know, that have failed, that have had the mistakes, that have had the setbacks, and have come and have used it positively and have used it to, you know, be better. And hopefully there's still a market for that type of coach. I'd like to, it'd be sad if there wasn't, because ultimately I think that's what high performance is about. It's about being able to get up off the floor and keep going again and learn and adapt, and to take the suffering and to take the consequences and to take everything else and go, right, come on, I'm better for it.